Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a review of the Avene Hydrating Skin Tone Perfector with SPF 30. I was sent this a few weeks ago to try out, see how I got on with it, and I thought I would share my review with you. Makes sense. Good, excellent. So, quick bit about the blurb. The Skin Tone Perfector is a mattifying moisturiser for normal to combination skin, and it's supposed to give long-lasting hydration. It unifies the complexion using transparent mineral pigments to reflect light and colour pigments that adapt to your skin tone to blur imperfection for naturally radiant skin. To me that kind of sounds like they're aiming for a BB kind of cream idea, and it sort of has that feel to it. Now I've done a bit of a cutaway as always of me applying this. As you can see in that clip, it's possibly not the best shade for me. It's a wee touch dark. It does settle down a bit and it isn't quite as orange after initial application. You know, I use my hands to make sure I blend it all the way in after I've already used the buffing brush. I go in with my hands, make sure that's melted thoroughly into my skin. But it is a wee bit dark for me. I've brought it down my neck so it's not as obvious, and I have gone over my face with my Bobbi Brown concealer and some of their stick foundation, but I had to go about 2 shades darker with my stick foundation. So that gives you an idea of the colour variance, I guess is the best way. Now I am pretty light. I'm not the lightest shade of Bobbi Brown. I know I've talked recently a lot about Bobbi Brown, but I'm not the lightest shade. I'm the next one up, so I'm about a porcelain. Really quite light. And this I found just a wee bit too orange toned for me. It was definitely very obvious if I had missed a spot or if I didn't bring it all the way down my neck, but not necessarily an issue if you're a wee bit darker. So wear time and all that kind of jazz. So I apply this after I cleanse my face. I tend to tone as well. Sometimes I use the oil and then this, or I use this as my moisturiser. I didn't particularly enjoy this as my moisturiser. It was fine, but I just have other moisturisers I preferred. I sometimes would apply this over the top of the moisturiser and I preferred how it sat on my skin that way, so it's worth trying it out like that. It definitely clings to any dryness that you may have on your skin. So I have issues where I've got blemishes that are clearing up and the dry skin around them, it will cling and make them particularly obvious, which is just not ideal if you're looking for that sort of blurred imperfection sort of feel. It just highlights them instead if you've got a wee bit of a dry patch. Not ideal. All in all, I'm not particularly fussed on this. I found I have issues anyway. I have particularly sensitive skin, so using SPF on my face, I've always struggled to find one that doesn't cause any kind of clogged pores or anything like that, because I will get breakouts, I will get spots. This does that for me, unfortunately. I do end up getting spots, which is where some of them came from, and then I used a face mask that didn't really agree with me and it made it all a whole lot worse. But I was using this solidly for the best part of 2 weeks, and my skin was at a nice place and it kind of stayed that way, and then after a few days it started to get, you know, a bit clogged, a bit congested, and that progressively got worse. So I then got more blemishes and I've got breakouts along my jaw, and yeah, I know it was this because when I stopped using it I was able to clear most of them up again until that annoying face mask, but they were on their way out when I stopped using this. Now it's not necessarily the fault of the Avene, but I have always had issues with SPF on my face. I really struggle to get one that works for me and doesn't ruin my skin. I will wear SPF no matter what because I have such fair skin, but it'd just be nice if I find one that didn't give me spots all the time. That would be lush. Thankfully in the summer, you know, the warm air tends to dry them out a bit quicker, so they go away quicker, but you know, less of the spots. Somebody out there realise we've all got really sensitive skin and give us stuff that doesn't clog our face. That'd be great. I am investigating other ones. In regards to value for money, so you get 40ml for $16.50. I think it's a wee bit steep, to be honest. It's just an okay moisturiser and it's got a tint in it that's, I think that, as I said, they maybe have 2 shades, so that's quite universal for people. I don't know if it does a massive job at blurring imperfections, so when I did use it on areas that I would have had scarring, etc., it didn't really hide them, didn't mask them as such. It doesn't provide a whole palette coverage. It's very light in coverage. It was just a wee bit average for my liking. I wouldn't rush out to purchase it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to my friends either. just because, just get a good SPF. It doesn't have to have a tint in it, or get a good BB cream. There are better BB creams out on the market. But I wasn't really blown out of the water by this. I'm really sorry. I always feel a bit bad when it's like I've been sent this to try out and it just does not agree with me, sadly. There are other products I would recommend over this. This is supposed to be for sensitive skin, but in my case it just irritated it, which is a bit annoying. If you have any questions about this, let me know down below. Thanks a million for watching. Like I said, short and sweet. I've tried to cover the bases, so we've got coverage, very minimal. Give me breakouts, a bit overpriced. Colour isn't the best. So it's a wee bit of a negative review. I'm very sorry. But I'd rather you knew. Other people make it on with this really well. If you don't have issues with SPFs giving you breakouts and stuff on your face, you might be entirely fine with this. And in the shop, test it out in the back of your hand or somewhere, you know, on your neck or something, to see how it's going to colour match for you, and give it, you know, give it a good few minutes to settle down, because it does change slightly. Give it a few minutes to settle down before you make up your mind. But I would recommend testing it out before purchasing, possibly. I won't be using this. I might see if any of my friends want it and give it to them. So that's it. Thanks a million for watching. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next video, which is an exciting one. Well, I am very excited about. But yes, I will see you in the next one. Bye! A really, really nice lipstick. It wears really nicely throughout the day. It feels super comfortable on your lips. Really, really comfortable to apply. I'm absolutely in love with this lipstick.